What's good, everybody? It's your boy back with another reaction video. And I'll be reacting to Disturbing True Horror Stories Animated 2021. They just was from, I think it was GRD Animation. Cause I downloaded this recently. I mean, I think it's an older video, but I downloaded it recently. I mean, I don't think it's that old, but older anyway. But anyway, let's just get into this. Oh yeah, I'm gonna put a link in the description. I forgot to say that earlier. Put a link in the description down below so you go check out the channel yourself. You know, go show them some love, like, comment, subscribe on their videos. So without further ado, here we.
I moved to a town with my parents my freshman year in high school. There's this alarm that goes off every time the fire department is called. For those of you in Tornado Alley, you'll know it as a tornado alarm, but up here in New England, just there to alert the town and or volunteers that there's a fire
I
against this
definitely
small
know a
town.
tornado sound.
I
Like
grew
them
up in Tornado Alley, and the
sounds
first
like
time we heard the alarm, my family went into full panic mode.
that
It's also the sound
sound.
from Silent Hill for you horror fans.
Yeah, that sound is.
One afternoon, I was walking home from the park, and it got dark fast. As a 14-year-old girl,
Man,
I thought I was
it
pretty
just
much an
it
adult
sends
by this
chills.
point.
Almost. I
And
just thinking
in a
about it,
small redneck northeastern town, I didn't really feel scared walking
especially
home
when you see
15
the
years ago
tornado.
now. I
Like
was
like
about
it's
half a block
forming
from
and
the
starting
fire
to come
station
down.
as
You're like, oh
a red
shit.
old Toyota truck pulled up and offered me a ride home. I politely said that I was fine, as this old greasy guy just gave me the absolute creeps. He kept driving slowly by me till he noticed that I picked up the pace to a near jog, and he began to drive off. Only the drive back towards me minutes later, then turn around and drive back up to me.
Oh my
He swung his car door open and started angry walking fast
god.
towards
You
me.
like,
My
bitch,
heart literally stopped and my body
you
froze
gonna
like a
give
deer
me
in
that.
headlights, ready for death.
I gotta take this
He
shit or
grabbed
you
my
can give
arm
it to me
hard and
willingly.
started pulling me to his car. I screamed, but he covered my mouth with his hands.
Why
that
didn't you
reeked
start
of sweat
running when you
and
saw him
cigars.
walking towards you?
I wiggled away, only to have my head slammed into his truck full force,
Oh,
making my ears ring as soon as he got a grip on me again. As he was forcing me into his truck, the fire department alarm blares. For reference, you can hear the alarm a town over. And being only half a block away, it's extremely loud, disorienting if you're not used to it, as it is a very concerning horn siren-like sound. He let go long enough for me to sprint into someone's backyard, and I assumed between the sound and possible witnesses now, it wasn't worth it anymore to him. After he drove off, I tried to just sit there and gather myself and my thoughts. A dog in the owner's house started barking at me, and a guy in his 30s comes out at some
I
point and
guess
asks
he's
what
the
I'm doing,
real creep.
eventually noticing a scared girl with blood on her face, and then asked if I needed help. I simply shook my head yes.
He
I don't
said,
know how
"Ooh,"
long,
he said,
but
"Won't you
eventually a
come
cop
on
showed up
down to the
with any
cellar?
evidence.
I
Next
got
thing
a
I know, I'm in the
whole
hospital.
cabinet full of
My parents
bandages."
are freaking out, and I told cops what had happened. As far as I know, they never caught the guy. I had stitches in my head, but thankfully no permanent damage. Cops assumed he wasn't from around here, as we're the only town with that alarm, and probably wouldn't have been startled by it if he was a local. I haven't contacted police in years, but last I checked, they never caught the guy, nor had similar reports, so either he's getting away with it, or his scare with trying to take me scared him off for good.
I doubt that.
Young girls.
If somebody's that bold to like, just like, I'm gonna take you and slam your head
When I
into a
was
car
13 or
door,
14,
like,
I lived in the
they
Panhandle
gonna get
of
the
Florida
nerve up
with
to
my
do it
mom,
again
younger
sooner or
brother, and
later.
stepdad. My mom had been married to him for almost 6 years now, and I never did feel comfortable alone with him. He was always lazy, smelled bad, and just gave me the creeps. Sometimes it was just little things like he'd stare a little too long or would go out of his way to get me things I had asked my mom for. I know that doesn't really seem to raise any red flags, but my mom
Shit,
did
it
raise me to be
doesn't.
very aware of men being a very small girl. Our small house had a
Like if
weird floor
your
plan.
stepdad
I
just
won't go into
or
details
your
about the entire
mom's
house.
boyfriend just
Just know
staring at you,
my room was in the very
especially if you
center of
have
the
like
house.
sexual maturity
I had
age,
three
like,
doors going into my room,
no.
one shared by my brother's room, one going out into the second living room type
Hell no.
area my mom used as her bedroom, and the last one going out right next to the bathroom door. Sometimes my brother would go through my room to get to the bathroom when my mom and stepdad were fighting or doing drugs like they usually did.
Oh wow. So
The
they both
bathroom was
fucked
right
up.
up against the wall of my closet. My closet didn't have doors on it, and the walls were very thin, so a lot of the time I could hear when someone was in there and what they were doing. A while after living there, I had discovered that the bathroom mirror could be slid a few inches
Oh,
to the
is
right
this
or
see
left to
through?
reveal a sort of nook, which I thought was kind of weird. But the people who lived in the house before me were extremely weird, so I didn't think much of it. A few weeks go by after I discovered the
Is
secret
it two
compartment
way?
in the bathroom, and I was just sitting in my room playing games on my laptop when I heard some kind of scratching noise coming from the closet. I thought it was some kind of rodent because our house really was that bad off. I decided not to pay any attention to it. A few months later, I heard my stepdad's footsteps leave the bathroom, and then I started to realize that maybe he too knows about the secret compartment. Curiosity rushes over me, and I decided I needed to know what he might have hid back there. I quietly rushed into the bathroom and locked the door behind me. At first, I thought maybe he was just trying to hide drugs or money from my mom, which wouldn't be surprising. I felt my heart beating out of my chest when I slowly pushed the mirror to the side. Curiosity
Is
became
it a
shock
camera?
when I realized what he had
Phone?
done. It was his phone, propped up by a piece of cardboard. The phone's camera was pointed to the small crack between the mirror and the wall, having a clear view of the shower and the toilet.
Oh boy.
Anger took over me, and I snatched the
I would have
phone,
went in there.
quickly unlocking it by looking at the previous fingerprints. It wasn't recording, but taking a series of pictures which I knew he was controlling with his computer because he was good at computer stuff and hacking. I scrolled through his camera roll to find tons of pictures of me getting into the shower
Oh.
using the toilet. I was furious.
Ugh.
I hid the phone in my pocket, put the mirror back, and stormed into the living room looking for my mother.
Man, I'd have went in there and just
My
I just
stepdad was the only person in the living room, so I asked him
right
where she
right in
was,
the throat.
trying to keep my voice calm and steady. Outside, he said. He made a face like maybe he somehow knew I had found his phone. He could have been watching me from his computer this whole time, but I didn't care. I walked outside to
Don't
find
tell
my
me
mom
his
on the
mom
porch.
is involved
I
in this
slammed the
shit.
door and sat down next to her. I pulled the phone out of my pocket and showed her all of the pictures.
Cause she looks
She grabbed the phone
horrified.
and stormed inside to confront my stepdad,
Okay.
who was already panicking. My mom was screaming at him, and I started crying. I don't remember exactly how it happened, but somehow my stepdad had gotten a hold of his phone, and my mom was in my room comforting me. My stepdad had come into the room and was saying that there was nothing on it, and I could go through it if I wanted to. But I already knew he had deleted everything.
I already
I
went
took
through
the
it,
phone from him
idiot.
and threw it against the wall. My mom screamed at him to leave the room.
Why would you give him back the phone?
It's been 6 years since then, and she never reported or even left him.
What?
I've lived with other family for 3 years already and rarely get to see her because when she does come around, she brings my stepdad with her, and I just hide in my room with the door locked. I never forgave him, and I have never trusted another man.
Are you serious? What the fuck is up with your mom? She just like still with this dude and still brings him around you, even though you moved out because of this and staying with other relatives, and she just like.
For background, I'm an 18-year-old
That's
female
what
in my first
happens.
semester of
Like,
college.
I'd be like, don't
Always
come
seemed to get
around
a lot
me.
of attention from guys.
You
tend to
and him
attract
could get
some
the
pretty
fuck out of
pretty
my
girls
life.
for some reason. Probably because I'm overly nice and have a hard time just telling people to buzz off, even when I get bad vibes from them. Anyway,
Welcome to
I decided
college.
to get Tinder over the summer due to quarantine. All of my classes for college are online, so I'm not able to meet many people. I thought if I got Tinder, I could get to know some people from my university and maybe even go on some dates. I got a lot of matches. Some guys were really nice and cool to talk to, and then I obviously got some people just wanting to hook up, which I'm not into, but
Of
nothing
course.
too abnormal. That's what Tinder is mainly for.
There are people who do that shit to people's
After a
faces.
few
You think
months,
they're
I
not
ended
gonna
up
do that
matching
shit
with a guy
online?
from out of state. We matched because he was in the area for work. He was 8 years older than me, but I didn't mind. First red flag right there. He seemed pretty
Wait,
nice.
8 years
asked for my
older than you?
snap,
It
so
said he was
he-
22.
We talked a little, and within a couple
You're in
of days, he
college?
became very clingy and obsessive.
Were you a child
I'm an
prodigy?
extremely busy major, and most of my time is
Genius?
taken
What
up
the
through
hell?
school. Because of this, I'm not always on my phone and could not answer messages right away. If I didn't answer for an hour or two, he would message me again and again. He said things like, "Why won't you talk to me? Are you seeing someone else? I wouldn't be surprised. You are so beautiful. And I need you."
Oh boy.
I thought this was very strange as I just
I
started talking to
need
him
you.
and we clearly weren't seeing each
I
other.
need your
I explained to
skin.
him that I am very busy with school and it was nothing personal. He said he respected that and we continued talking. Obviously, that didn't last very long
Either
because he
he's gonna
told
be
me
the
his
creep
story.
or he's gonna save her
He
life or some
continued to
shit.
text me constantly, telling me he needed me
Okay,
and
now
missed me
he's
when
the
I was
creep.
ignoring
Okay.
him. He started talking about driving 2 hours to see me. I was weirded out, but I assumed that he was just lonely and desperate. I felt bad, so I tried to brush it off and answer when I could because he didn't really do anything too concerning. Stupid, I know.
Yet.
This continued for a few weeks, and I
A
started getting
few
extremely
weeks.
annoyed. I had a bad gut
I'd
feeling
be
about this guy.
extremely annoyed after a few
He started
days.
talking very sensually, and I told him I wasn't into that. He apologized and said that he would stop. He didn't,
He's
no
like, I can
surprise
smell your
there.
cunt through
So
the
I started
phone.
ignoring
Like,
his messages.
what?
He apologized, and I called him out for it. He continuously
I
apologized,
am
and I just
sorry.
left him on red. He started
Stop
Snapchatting me pictures and
talking to
constantly messaging me, so I unadded
Snapchatting.
him. And then he texted me with another apology and said that he had hoped that he could take me on that date we talked about, even though I never expressed interest in going
Yeah,
on a date.
what?
I ignored that message
Okay,
too
this
and
dude
moved on
clearly
with
has
my
some
life.
type of mental problem.
About 2 weeks later, I got a message that simply said, "I'm sorry."
Take you on that
I
date that we
ignored that
talked
too.
about. And shit, we
He
didn't
didn't
talk
message me
about
after
a
that,
date.
and it soon slipped my mind once again. Later that week, I had a dream of him breaking into my house and attempting to kidnap me. And I started thinking about it again, so I tried looking him up on Instagram. He didn't have an Instagram, which I didn't think was too weird because I know some people who only use Facebook, so I tried looking him up on there. He didn't have
I know
Facebook
some
either,
people who just have
and that
Instagram.
was kind of weird. Most people have one or the other, if not both. I thought it was so strange that this guy didn't have any form of social media besides Snapchat and Tinder. I wondered if he used a fake name. Then I decided to try one last thing. I searched his name on Google, and what I found made my blood run cold. The first thing that came up was an article for his arrest back in January with his mugshot, and he was arrested for lewd images of children on his laptop. They found several
Wow.
photos of underage girls on his phone, and he was released on bail a few days later. I was absolutely disgusted. This man was a predator, and he was free to do as he pleased and prey on younger girls. When I think about it, my guess is that he saw that I was 18 and thought he could still get something from a younger girl without getting into trouble because I was legally an adult. I'm not stupid enough to send any revealing photos or videos. I'm so glad I stopped being so nice and listened to my
Okay.
gut when things
She's
progressed.
18.
I don't know
So
what would
what
have
is
happened
it?
if I didn't, and
26?
I wonder if my dream
She's
was a
at
sign for
8
me
years older than
becoming who
her.
he was.
Why his
It still
thing
creeps
says
me out that he was so
22?
obsessed
Unless
with
I
me when
saw
I
that
didn't
wrong.
talk to him for very long at all.
So wait, he liked children, but he was trying to get with her because it wouldn't be deemed illegal. So I guess he was like, well, I mean, clearly he was visiting some site that flagged his IP address, and then they probably said, okay, this motherfucker is into child porn, and they did a raid on his house and found child pornography on his computer, and he got out, got out on bond. Did he like jump? Did he like cause he's on my list. Maybe he's still in the same place. I don't know. But it's I guess he was like I just need to prey on somebody. So you're an adult. I'm like, but I don't. I mean, like, what were you gonna do? Like, I mean, she's an adult, so you just being annoying unless you're trying to like, rape her or some shit. But I don't know. And that second story, that pissed me off. Like, really, this dude, he gonna get. This motherfucker gives her back the phone and said, "Hey, there's nothing on it." Bitch, we already saw the pictures. What are you talking about? There's nothing on it. Well, like, how do, and I was done for now. How the fuck he get the phone back? Like, she like, somehow he had the phone back. You take that phone, especially she's underage. Take that phone. I don't know if she's underage or not, but it doesn't matter. You take that phone and you take it to the goddamn police. Like, this motherfucker's phone, and he had it set up to take pictures of me in the bathroom. And I want to press charge or something, you know, like, but the mom, she, I mean, they both, I guess the way she talked, they both, I guess, drug addicts. And she, I don't know, they junkies, but they both do drugs together. She still with this dude, still comes around her daughter, knowing this. And then she got upset and told him off. But then she stayed with him, comes around this guy, I mean, this girl, with this guy, knowing that her daughter does not want to be around this person. Like, and it's not like it's not the same as like, oh, if you married, let's say you married and your family don't like your wife, your significant other, wife or husband, whatever. So you might like, hey, they don't. This time, how about you don't come to this gathering? You know, if it's not, they like you can come to the big important things, but if it's like having dinner or something, like, how about you don't come to this because they don't like you, you know, something like that. If that's what you, if it was me, I just want to go around my family. I'd be like, oh, either you accept who I'm with, or you don't accept either one of us, you know. But that's just me. But this motherfucker took pictures of her in the bathroom, and she's like, hey, you know, I'ma still come bring him around, well, because you staying with other family members, and we go over there to visit them. So he's coming too. You gotta accept him. No, the fuck I don't. I don't have to accept that motherfucker, especially that shit that he did. Like, no, ain't no way, ain't no way. Wow. I don't know why she's like she mad at him. He's like, I haven't been able to trust men again since then. You shouldn't trust women either, or your mom, because that shit she did, that, oh, got upset, but she's still with this motherfucker and still brings him around her, even though she knows you don't like him or want him around. Couldn't be me. Have it like, I guess I'd be doing. If that was the case, like I had to stay with family members because I couldn't stay on my own. Um, like I'm like, hey, let me know when they coming. I'm leaving the house. You know, and like, don't let this motherfucker around. I would get a key for my door so I can lock my room door when I leave. That way, I ain't gotta be checking everything when I come back in to see if this motherfucker gonna put a camera up or some shit. But I'm talking more so from the point of a guy, because I was like, I would have whooped his ass. He would have been. I wouldn't have killed him because I don't want to go to jail. But I would have Batman his ass. Like, he'd be near death. He'd be permanently paralyzed, permanently handicapped. Cause that, well, anyway, hope you enjoyed my reaction. If you did, make sure you hit that thumbs up button down below. Uh, Make sure to subscribe. You know, hit that bell, or you want to be notified when I upload new videos. Comment down below. Share this video. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.